A grade 11 student at the Lloydminster Comprehensive High School is taking her education to the next level as she was accepted to the Shad program. For more on her future, here's Jasmine King.
Shad is a program for students across Canada looking to enhance their education. An LCHS student recently got the call about her selection into the program after submitting her application back in December.
Shad is an annual summer enrichment program that works within the STEM field. It works on lectures, workshops, and experiments, and it consists of grade 10 and 11 students going across different universities in Canada, and through that they learn from the mentors and interact with other students there.
The program is hosted at 18 different universities across the country where students will live and spend their time learning. Delara is hoping to take what she learns in the Shad program into her post-secondary education.
I think personally, out of all the science, I do really enjoy chemistry, so I think being able to do more experiments and do more labs within that, I think that'd be really fun. I'm looking within the STEM field for my education down the road, and I think really Strat is going to be able to help me really determine what path I want to go down.
Students get the chance to connect with kids from across the country while learning in depth about certain subjects. Delara believes this program can be a huge benefit to those looking to get into the STEM field.
I think it is such a great opportunity for people who would like to high-achieving students and who would like to gain more knowledge and be able to challenge themselves. I think it's a great opportunity for those students and to be able to kind of have that stepping stone towards their educational career down the road.
The Shad program runs from July 3rd to the 29th. Jasmine King, Primetime Local News.
Saskatchewan drivers will see some relief amid high gas prices, but they won't be seeing it at the pumps. SGI is issuing $100 per vehicle to their customers, as Jace Mackey has details on the new rebate.
Don Morgan is the minister responsible for SGI, and he joins me today to talk about the new rebate that SGI is giving to customers. Each customer will be getting $100 per vehicle that they've had insured as of March 9th of this year. So, Minister Morgan, thank you for being here. And first of all, I was going to ask, give us some background as to why SGI decided to give out this rebate.
We decided to give a rebate of $100 for each registered vehicle in the province. We excluded trailers, motorcycles, snowmobiles, and ATVs. What we were trying to do was be able to cushion the shock from the extreme increase in gasoline and fuel prices. So this is money that's actually accumulated in the SGI account. It actually belongs to our citizens. It's their money that's come as a surplus in the SGI reserve fund. So we think it should go a ways to help offset. We looked at a number of other options. We thought this was the most convenient and the most immediate.
Now, this isn't the first time that SGI has given out a rebate recently. Can you kind of talk about the differences between these two rebates, this one being just a flat $100 rebate to everyone?
The last time we did it, we had the fund is expected to maintain a balance of around $1 billion. The reason you have it in case of higher than expected claims or a catastrophe that destroys a bunch of vehicles. It's supposed to be a self-maintaining fund. It's not maintained by the province. It's maintained on behalf of the citizen. So it usually has about $1 billion, but occasionally with good market conditions, it will increase, and it got up to about 1.3 or 1.4 billion dollars. So a year or so ago, we paid out about $350 million to the citizens. And at that time, we tried to make it as a payback towards premiums that had been paid in the past. So it was a percentage of what your average vehicle premiums had been over the previous 3 years. This time, we wanted to sort of make it more uniform and a little easier for people to access and not have to go through the calculation process. So we picked a sum of $100, which we thought, given the cost of gasoline, it may not buy a lot of gasoline, but it'll cushion what the increase has been for a period of time.
Now, I saw in the release that the initial estimates is that this rebate is going to cost SGI $95 million. Can you take us through if there's anything that people need to do to be able to get this rebate, and when can they expect to get it?
You had a vehicle registered on March 9th, you qualify and you get it. So the only thing I would urge somebody to do is check their address with SGI. You can log on to My SGI or contact your broker, and the check will come in the mail. If you're somebody that has 2 vehicles or 3 vehicles, then you would get $200 or $300, as the case may be. If a vehicle is owned by 2 people together, family, whatever, then the check will be made payable to both of them. We've included trucks and commercial vehicles as well. So school boards will get money, but nobody need apply or anything. It will come out. We are trying to get the checks out as quickly as we can because we think the need is there. But it's processing almost 1 million checks. So SGI will use some private contractors and mailing service to get them out. And last time it took them almost 3 months. This time they said they think you can do it significantly faster. So we're hopeful it'll be out soon.
Just finally, Minister Morgan, this rebate is going out to provide some relief to drivers during this time when gas prices are, getting higher and higher. Can Saskatchewan drivers expect to see any other relief further down the road?
We're watching carefully to see what happens. The particular increase we're seeing at gas prices right now is triggered by the war in Ukraine. And if that's settled quickly, it'll come back. We expect prices will come back down. I would be remiss if I didn't mention that a lot of the increase right now, over the last year or two, has been caused by the federal carbon tax, and there will be another increase in the federal carbon tax on April 1st. So we've asked the federal government not to impose that now, or just to defer that for a period of time, so that we can get sort of ramp up things and cushion our citizens a little bit better. So we're going to watch that, but we're looking carefully at what's going to take place over the next while.
All right, Minister Morgan, is there anything else you'd like to add today?
To keep our insurance costs low, I urge people to drive carefully on the slippery and icy roads. Stay safe to you, and I know you broadcast into both sides of the border. So best to our Alberta friends and colleagues. All of us have family in Alberta, so all the best.
That's a great message, and thank you for taking some time to talk with me, Minister Morgan. Have a great rest of your day.
Taking a look at the AJHL's playoff picture, a number of Northeast teams will be playing for their season. The Lloydminster Bobcats, currently down 3-1 in their series, will head to Drayton Valley for Game 5. The Bobcats lost their previous 2 games on the road, both by a score of 3-2 in overtime.
So we can stay disciplined. I like the matchup. We know it's going to be tough the whole way through, and it's a game of inches. But the discipline within our structure and the discipline staying on the penalty box are going to be 2 areas that we really need to pay attention to.
Meanwhile, just up the highway, the Bonnyville Pontiacs will host Game 5 of their series against the Whitecourt Wolverines. Whitecourt currently leads 3-1. Both games will take place at 7 p.m. Now, for a second look at what you can expect for some weather in and around the border city, let's check in with Jasmine King.
Thank you, Tate. Yes, continuing to take a look at tonight's weather forecast, we are now looking at the central regions of both Alberta and Saskatchewan. And Edmonton is currently sitting at -4, Athabasca is at -8, and Cold Lake is still sitting at -9 degrees, and Edson is at 7, which is one if not the warmest spot in Alberta currently. Rocky Mountain House is at -1, and Red Deer is at -6. And on the Saskatchewan side, that's where we get a bit colder. Prince Albert at -14, Saskatoon at -15, and Melfort is currently sitting at -17 degrees. But looking into the northern parts of both provinces, again, we can see those cold temperatures continue up into Saskatchewan, -9 in both Buffalo, Narrows, and La Loche, -17 in Uranium City, and -18 in Stony Rapids, and then South End is at -13, as well as La Ronge. And then on the Alberta side is where we see that warm temperatures, like I mentioned, -12 in High Level, -3 in Peace River, -8 in Slave Lake, and 0 currently in Grand Prairie. But looking into the south, we can see that temperatures are pretty consistent throughout there from what we're seeing in the north. That mix of cold and warm. Lethbridge at 3, Medicine Hat at -6, Coronation is at -11, and Calgary is at -4. And Regina and Estevan are both currently sitting at -18 degrees. Moose Jaw is at -15, where Yorkton is at -17. But as we look into your national forecast board, this is where we see a little bit more in depth of some of the temperatures around -18, like I mentioned, in Regina, and that's similar to Winnipeg, sitting at the same degree there, as well as Yellowknife. And into the eastern part of our country, they are a bit warmer, -4 in Quebec City, -1 in Toronto, and then St. John's is sitting at 0 degrees. And then in Vancouver, they are currently at 5 right now with that mix of rain. So like always in Vancouver, they're getting some rain there, and then Whitehorse is also seeing some snow, sitting at -3 degrees. But as we look into your overnight temperatures throughout the region, we can see this is where we're going to see some snow throughout some of the region in Meadow Lake, Bonnyville, as well as Isle Cross, Paradise Hill, and Pearson. So a lot of snow coming down tonight. It might not be a lot, but we can see that it is consistent throughout. Unity is at -18, Provost will be at -11, and Miriam will be getting down to -7. So we aren't seeing any -20s overnight tonight, and I'm sure that the residents are happy about that. But looking into your 7-day forecast for the border city, like I mentioned earlier, 1 tomorrow is the high in Lloydminster, but it may get a bit warmer just depending on how the day goes. -6 on both Sunday and Monday. And then 0 is pretty consistent throughout next week on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, but that mix of sun and cloud throughout, we can see that. And then on Thursday, 1 will be the high with that mix of sun and cloud. But again, like I mentioned, on Sunday and Monday, there is that chance that we will be seeing some snow. And on Sunday, for Alberta residents, you have to turn your clocks forward because it's daylight savings time again. So just remember to make sure you're adjusting your clocks then. But that is a look at your 7-day forecast, and we'll have more news after the break.
Today for Primetime Local News, I'm joined with the CEO of Compassion House Foundation, Michelle O'Curry, to talk about their upcoming fundraiser, Walk Her Way, which is a 5K walk and run to raise money for cancer patients. Thank you so much, Michelle, for coming on today.
Thanks so much for having us. We always love connecting with you guys in Lloydminster.
So do you mind letting us know a little bit about this year's event and what it's all about?
Yeah, you bet. It's actually our second annual Walk Her Way 5K, which is really exciting. So last year was the first year of us doing it. We came up with the concept really as a way to respond to emerging funding needs through the COVID-19 pandemic and a way to meet people in their communities where they are, to be able to participate in this, to support Compassion House Foundation and the women that we serve, while doing that in a safe way through a virtual event.
And how much money are you guys hoping to raise this year?
Yeah, so we have a goal of $150,000. Last year, because it was our first year, we went with kind of a smaller goal. So we had a goal to raise $50,000, and the community really came through. We ended up raising over $75,000, which is just incredible. And so, yeah, we thought this year, let's up the ante. We have a goal to double that, and we have really looked to engage a lot of our past guests and supporters throughout the communities that we serve. So we will have trails in the Edmonton area, in Grand Prairie and Fort McMurray. And then beyond that, anywhere throughout Western Canada, people can do the walk run in their own communities.
And this money is going to your foundation. So do you mind telling us a little bit more about what certain things the money will be going towards?
Yeah, absolutely. So Compassion House Foundation supports women from all over Western Canada who have to come into Edmonton for cancer treatment. So we operate Sorrentino's Compassion House, which is the physical infrastructure that we own, which is a 17,000 square foot building. It's beautiful. It really is a home away from home for those undergoing cancer treatment. We have 16 suites, and right now we are full. So as you can imagine, cancer doesn't take a day off. It doesn't matter that there's been a pandemic over the last couple of years. Those needs remain. And then in addition to that, we actually support women during the post-treatment phase of their cancer journey as well. So recognizing that just because treatment is over and that physical health side of it might be taken care of, doesn't mean that there's not still that focus on mental health and wellness as they transition back into life at home.
And when will this event be running, and how can people register?
Yeah, so we launched registration a couple days ago on International Women's Day, and the event will actually be held the weekend of May 12th to 15th. So again, like I said, people can go online to compassionhouse.org/walkherway5K, and they can set up or register as an individual, or they can set up a team. Anyone who wants to participate in fundraisers, a minimum of $100 by April 29th will receive a free commemorative swag bag. So those are really awesome. People really enjoyed it last year. We are actually asking businesses if they're interested in providing items to the swag bag, that's something that they can donate to us as well. And in addition to that, we are looking for sponsorships. So we are super blessed to have Student Food Canada come online as our presenting sponsor, but we do have regional sponsorships available in the communities that we serve as well.
And is there a cutoff for when people can sign up, or does it go straight until the event?
Yeah, people can sign up at any time. Again, if they want to receive this commemorative swag bag, that it is by April 29th, just so that we can get it out to them in time for the event. So those include things like water bottles and other swag. But right up until the event day, they can definitely sign up to participate. We'd love for people to engage with us on social media, show videos and photos of them taking part. And then there's the peer-to-peer platform where people can raise funds.
So this year is a virtual walk. So do you mind telling us a little bit more about how the virtual aspect is applied?
Yeah, absolutely. So like I said, we do have trails here in Edmonton, in Grand Prairie, and in Fort McMurray, where there will be trail signage, and past guests of the house ambassadors of ours who will be kind of running that locally. But in any community, again, throughout Western Canada, people can participate. Just pick a 5K route. We ask that people engage with us on social media using the hashtag WalkHerWay5K. We'll be reposting and really trying to raise awareness throughout that weekend. But even in the lead up to that, like I said, people can register online. They can do it by a team or as an individual, and then they can share that out through their social platforms to raise funds for the foundation.
And lastly, is there anything else that you would like to add about this event?
We just really encourage people to participate. It's super fun. It's a great way to get out, to stay active. It'll be a beautiful weekend, hopefully. And, obviously Mother's Day is in the month of May, and that ties in really nicely. A lot of the women that stay with us are moms. And I think that, for so many of us who do have those stories, grandmothers, mothers, women in our lives who have experienced a cancer journey, we know how important it is. So we're really just asking people to step into her shoes, those hundreds of women that we serve each year, and support them through walking that 5K.
Well, thank you again, Michelle, for coming on today and letting us know about this fundraiser that you guys are doing for such a great cause.
Thank you so much, Nicole. We really appreciate it.
The Midwest Snow Kings are hosting their third annual snowmobile rally coming up tomorrow. You can head to the Marshall Legion between 9 and 11 a.m. Alberta time to register, and then spend a day out on the trail, and they're going to have lunch at the halfway point. You've got a chance to win some door prizes. There's also cash prizes for first, second, and third place, and all proceeds raised are going to go back into the community. Entry fee is $25, and it looks like it's shaping up to be a nice day out on the trails tomorrow. On Sunday, you have the chance to enjoy some great live music. The Women of Folkways are going to be in Vermilion. 5 incredibly talented women will be performing at the Legion in Vermilion. It's a great opportunity to enjoy some great live music. Tickets, you can get those for $20. They're available in advance at Vermilion Credit Union. And if you'd like to get more details on the show, just visit Folk Club of Vermilion on Facebook. This Saturday, it's a fun night at the Lloyd X for Irish Pub Night. And coming up next Saturday night, it's another fun night for Mike's retirement party. Mike Sidoric, he's going to be recognized for his years that he has given to the Lloyd X and to our community, helping out with fairs, chuck wagon races, and so much more. You can still get a ticket for this fun event. There's going to be a short program, dinner, and great live entertainment from Jordan Pollard. You'll get all the details on the Lloyd X website, lloydex.com. Well, whatever you choose to do this weekend, we hope you stay safe and stay healthy.
What's Happening is brought to you by Northern Factory Workwear, Circle Drive East, Saskatoon, and Highway 17 South, Lloydminster.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery and Furniture House, downtown Lloydminster.
Joining us today for this week's entertainment panel is the glorious Abby St. John. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us.
Of course.
Now, we are speaking here today, and I even got my own new background here instead of using the studio, and you're doing it at home. So this is kind of a fascinating panel we are doing for this week. But we are starting off, of course, with all the talk on the Batman. And of course, I've seen this twice already, but the Batman reaction and the box office ticket sales. So let's kind of go a little bit more in depth about this, of how they made even over $250 million worldwide on the first weekend it opened. And it's going to dominate this weekend, apparently.
Yes. So they exceeded expectations. They projected to make less than they did, but worldwide opening weekend, they made $248.5 million approximately. It is the second highest grossing movie opening weekend since the pandemic, behind just one spot behind No Way Home. So that's really impressive. We've seen Marvel, they've been dominating forever, and DC, they haven't been. That's very impressive. And I'm very happy that it got the success that it deserved, because it's been hyped up for so long and it's looked so good. And, Robert Pattinson, I think he really proved himself as the Batman. And, those naysayers are kind of eating their words a little bit because of how successful it's turned out to be. It's certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, has a critic rating of 86% and an audience rating of 89%. So all in all, pretty successful. I've yet to see the movie yet. I want to see it, but they're projected to make a lot more this weekend as well. So the more that's in the theater, the more they're going to make. So I think it's perfect. And I know you've seen it, so you could probably shed more light into how it was firsthand.
Yeah, for sure. I've seen it twice now. From some of the reviews we've seen, a lot of people have complained that it's too dark, which I think that's a bit hilarious. Since
it's Batman. It has to be dark.
That's exactly what I was thinking too. And from my perspective, I thought it was really good. It worked really well. Robert Pattinson did such a great job being kind of like the brooding kind of doesn't want to talk to anybody kind of Batman. And then throughout it, what I learned as well, just seeing Colin Farrell as the Penguin, that was jaw-dropping when I found that out. Like I didn't even know that before I first watched the movie, but finding out about it after, it was crazy. Like the makeup job is amazing of how well they made him look as a Penguin.
Totally unrecognizable. I think that's impressive. I think Colin Farrell is fantastic in pretty much everything that I've seen him in. So I think it's impressive that they completely transformed him. And that is how I picture the Penguin. That's what he looks like. And I think they did a perfect job at portraying that visually.
Yeah, exactly. Like even just the way he speaks, it was amazing just seeing the transformation they did with Colin Farrell when it came to the Penguin. And of course, in my perspective of seeing Catwoman, Zoe Kravitz, seeing Jim Gordon as Jeffrey Wright playing him, I thought they did a fantastic job. There was some controversy before about race playing into it, how some people, of course, the race out there, just not being a fan of them, Catwoman being Black, Jim Gordon being Black. I thought they did a fantastic job. Should not matter what race you are. If you play that character well, good on you, and I thought they did fantastic. So I'm glad to see that they are getting the ratings and the support they deserve to see for this movie. Robert Pattinson did an amazing job as Batman.
Yeah, I think without just seeing the movie yet, I think they did a fantastic job with casting Jeffrey Wright. He's fantastic in everything he does. And Zoe Kravitz, I think just by seeing the trailers, I think she's the perfect Catwoman, just the way she moves and her persona and her attitude that she portrays. I think it's perfect. And, the concerns about Robert Pattinson being cast, I think they're a non-issue now that the movie is finally released. And I'm very excited to actually see it myself and to, have my own opinion about it. But I'm very excited for it.
Yes, I personally think you're going to love it. Now, moving on to a lighter note, though, with Abbott Elementary. For all those Abbott Elementary fans out there, they are partnering with Scholastic to continue a campaign that has been providing schools with free book fairs. Now, this is really interesting because they had taken a 3-week break from their episodes, and all the fans out there, of course, like me, were disappointed. We're really excited to see those new episodes every Tuesday, but now we found out they've been providing each students with 2 free books, and the teachers have been getting 10 free books, and it's been them taking this process to actually do this for these underfunded schools, which is such an amazing initiative to see, and they will be returning on March 22nd.
Yes, this is very, this whole initiative is very amazing. You know, Abbott Elementary, pretty much the main focus of it is that they are teachers at a underfunded school in Philadelphia. The show is based on the Harity Elementary School in Philly, and that's the main theme around the show, is that they're very underfunded and they have to figure out creative ways to go around it, to provide their kids with the education that they deserve. So they're partnering up with Scholastic to provide free book fairs to underfunded schools, and it's going to take place between March 14th and March 18th, and it will be at 7 Title I schools across the US, and that includes the school that the show is based upon. So I think this is an amazing thing that they're doing for these schools in the US, and shedding light on those underfunded schools.
Really amazing to see. So I honestly hope they get more of an audience with their show when they come back on March 22nd, and more people check out Abbott Elementary. But unfortunately, that's all the time we have for this week's entertainment panel. Once again, thank you so much for joining us today, Abby.
Thank you.
And now we'll be taking a look at your 7-day forecast. It will be a high of 3 degrees tomorrow, so it will be warmer. But again, as we can expect some snow on the weekend, so -6 on both days, and then heading into a warmer week.
Thank you very much, Jasmine. That is all the time we have for this first hour of our program. If you missed anything, you can catch it coming up next. But for now, that's all we've got. So thanks for tuning in.